the living organisms and their surroundings. Learning about all living things respond to stimuli. Do all living things respond to stimuli? How do you respond if you suddenly step on a sharp object like a thorn while walking barefoot? Ouch! How do you feel when you see or think about your favorite food? My mouth will start watering. You suddenly move from a dark place into a bright sunlight. What will happen? Your eyes shut themselves automatically for a moment. Till then, they adjust to the changed bright surroundings. Your favorite food, bright light, and a thorn in the above situations are some examples of changes in your surroundings. All of us respond immediately to such changes. Changes in our surroundings that make us respond to them are called stimuli. Do other animals also respond to stimuli? Observe the behavior of animals when the food is served to them. Suddenly, they become active on seeing the food. When you move towards a bird, what does it do? It flies away. Similarly, cockroaches begin to move to their hiding places if the light in the kitchen is switched on at the night. Do plants also respond to stimuli? In some plants like mimosa, commonly known as touch-me-not, leaves close or fold when someone touches them. These are some examples of responses of plants towards changes in their surroundings. Activity. Place a potted plant in a room a little away from a window through which sunlight enters sometime during the day. Continue watering the plant for a few days. The plant does not grow upright like plants out in the open. It grows towards the direction of the sunlight. Indeed, it responds to stimulus. All living things respond to changes around them. Living organisms and excretion. All living things take food. Not all the food that is eaten is really used. Only a part of it is utilized by the body. What happens to the rest? This has to be removed by the body as waste. Our body also produces some waste in other life processes. The process of getting rid of these waste by the living organism is known as excretion. Do plants also excrete? Yes, they do. However, the mechanisms in plants are a little different. Some harmful or poisonous materials do get produced in the plants as waste. Some plants find it possible to store the waste products within their parts in a way that they do not harm the plant as a whole. Some plants remove waste products as secretions. Excretion is another characteristic common to all living things. Do all living things reproduce their own kind? Have you ever seen nests of some birds like pigeons? Many birds lay their eggs in the nest. Some of the eggs may hatch and young birds come out of these. Animals reproduce their own kind. The mode of reproduction may be different in different animals. Some animals produce their young ones through eggs. Some animals give birth to the young ones. Plants also reproduce. Like animals, plants also differ in their mode of reproduction. Many plants reproduce through seeds. Plants produce seeds which can germinate and grow into new plants. Some plants also reproduce through parts other than seeds. For example, a part of the potato with a bud grows into a new plant. Plants also reproduce through cuttings. Living things produce more of their own kind through reproduction. It takes place in many different ways for different organisms. Do all living things move? Living things move from one place to another and also show other body movements. What about plants? Do they also move? Plants are generally anchored in soil, so they do not move from one place to another. However, various substances like water, minerals, and the food synthesized by them moves from one part of the plant to another. We also have some non-living things moving. Of course, a bus, car, a small piece of paper, clouds, and so on. There is such a variety of living organisms, but all of them show some common characteristics as we have discussed. Yet another common characteristic is that living beings die. Because organisms die. Organism types can survive over thousands of years only if they reproduce their own kind. One single organism may die without ever reproducing, but the type of organism can exist only if there is reproduction. We see that all living things seem to have some common characteristics. They all need food, respire, respond to stimuli, reproduce, show movement, grow, and die. In general, something that is living may have all the characteristics that we have discussed, while non-living things may not show all these characteristics at the same time. What then is life? Push your hand deep inside a sack of wheat. Do you find it warm inside? There is some heat being produced inside this sack of wheat. The seeds respire and in the process give out some heat. We see that respiration is a process that takes place in seeds even when some of the other life processes may not be very active. It may not be very easy to answer our question, what then is life? However, looking at all the diversity of living beings around us, we can conclude that life is beautiful. Summary: living things have certain common characteristics. They need food, they respire and excrete, respond to their environment, reproduce, grow and show movement. That is all in this chapter, students. Live and let live. Keep learning. Learning is fun.